Ooh, is we live, honey? Hello and welcome to another great episode of the Darren Green Show. I am your humble host, Darren Green. I'm here joined with my lovely co-host, Derek Dahl. How are you?
I'm doing well. I can't complain.
Yes. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button if you are watching this on YouTube. Tap the bell to get notified if you're already subscribing. If you're a new listener, hit that subscribe button, tap the like. And if you're listening on the podcast, please be sure to give us a 5-star rating and give us a review too, because we like to see what you guys are thinking about with the show, because we can't really know what you're talking about because there's no comment section. Please follow me at TDGS Media on Instagram and Twitter, and also subscribe to the Patreon page. For $2 a month, you'll get access to ad-free viewing. But let me give you like a little, let me put you up on game. If you just watch us and subscribe to us on YouTube, there's no ads, okay? But whatever, do what you want. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. You just text something on the group. I'm like, I'm all discombobulated. But no, how are you doing, Derek?
I'm doing well, darling. I think I am.
Not you got to drink.
Absolutely. It's Friday. It's Friday.
I'm drinking late. I got my little water.
We're coming toward the end of this palindrome, this October 16
Panini. Canova.
Right. They're relaxing, masked usage, which kind of makes me nervous. A lot of people that don't want to get vaccinated or ain't really keeping up with their COVID test. It does make me nervous, but that's part of the process of getting back in the world, that we're going to have to deal with these anxieties. But I'm excited about things, potentially going back to normal really, really, really soon. Still on the high of the release of my last single, Chop. I am proud to announce it only took 3 days. Now, Bang was a great song. I love Bang. That's like my one of my babies.
It's your baby.
That's my baby. But it only took Chop 3 days to outperform a 7-month-old song, which means that the people really enjoyed it. And so now I'm debating on whether or not to actually do like a real Chop challenge. If I still got some coin in my reserve to give away.
Come on. Do the Chop challenge, the video, do it all. I told you that this song was going to be really catchy and people was going to really like it and flock to it and everything. Like, it is really, like, you put your foot in it.
Thank you.
Like, people go ham on the cookie. They was like, put your foot in the ear.
You said that. You did say that. So, so yeah, just enjoying it and seeing, what the next phase of this rollout's going to look like. And I think next week I actually start talks on trying to find a DP, a treatment done for the video, a new one, because I already had an idea what I wanted, but thinking about taking it in a different direction, and I'm very open to collaboration. So I'm just excited about the future and the things, but nothing's really, really new. Just chopping it up, if you will.
Just chopping it up.
Though, because are you back at home? Are you still in Trenton? Are you?
I'm back home. I ain't got look.
Oh wait, you don't have to. Oh, you're done for the year. You don't have to go back until the fall, right?
Until the fall, and that will be my last semester. Thank God. Yeah, I'm ready to move on. But nothing much happened this week. As you can see, you guys like my shirt. I am a brand ambassador for That Sounds Gay, which is it's a website that has a lot of merch that's for LGBT. And I just got this shirt, and I'm a brand ambassador because I have like a discount code. So if you type in when you purchase something, make a purchase, type in the code GreenWorld to get 30% off your next purchase. Okay. And this is legit because I got it. It came in the mail. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's real. The information is in the description. So, I just want to share that, the little help me out, help me give me a little coin or whatever. And speaking of coin, let me tell y'all a story.
What happened?
Well, I woke up to an email from Spreaker. Now, as you know, Spreaker is a publisher site for podcasts. Podcasters will know that. And I seen something that said $17. I'm like, oh wait, hold on, wait. Is it a receipt because we got to pay to keep it on online or whatever? I'm like, what y'all trying to take my money? Like, what's going on? I looked at the email and it's from PayPal, and I'm like, what? What is? I'm like, oh wait a minute. So y'all giving this to me? I'm like, I was just so like, even though it's not much, but it's still, it's something. Because 2 years ago, honey, I was making 5 cents. But being that we brought back the ads to the show, It's been really adding up, and it's really, it was a real surreal moment when I woke up and I was like, oh my God, like I literally gave up this podcast years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why when people ask, like, oh, when did you start the podcast? I'll tell them 2017, but I don't really have proof of it because I deleted my first 20 episodes because I was so like upset about how I didn't get like the traction that I had wanted when I first started. But until I was like in 2018, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna just keep on moving and doing episodes. So that's just like a moment I just want my listeners to really take heed and just like really just do what you want, like, do what you want to do. Like, don't worry about if anybody's gonna listen to it or if your friends gonna support you and this, that, and the third. Like, I've talked to so many people that said they wanted to get started on their stuff, and it's like, I don't know, like it might not be good. Like, there's a picture of how The Simpsons looked season 1 and compared to how it looks now, and they say if those creators would have sat there and actually if they would have tried to perfect their craft to the best of their ability back then, you get what I'm saying? Like, we wouldn't have got so many seasons and shows as it has now. So just keep on going. That's my little motivational speech of the episode today. Felt a little empowered today, but yeah, I just been. Other than that, I'm chilling. When I'm home, I don't do much. Ain't nothing to do in Bourne, Trenton, child. Well, you know what? Actually, I went to the beach yesterday. That's why I was really late with making the notes today because I was like, when I came home, we came home at 9:00. Because
that's late.
That's late for me.
Oh, that's an old man child. I'm like, that's late?
Yeah, it's late for me. Okay. I didn't feel like doing. Well, no, I mean, yeah, it was late, and also I didn't feel like doing nothing either. Because when you go to the beach, you're tired. Like you walked on that sand. It's. Yes, you don't come home tired after the beach.
Well, I mean, high activity, I guess. Well, laying out in the sun can drain you anyway. So,
I was also drinking too. So
Oh, so you were drinking and baking. So, yeah, I'm just tired.
But I had a good old time with the fam. I got to see my cousin again, and it was a good time. So that's what I was doing this week. Other than that, I'm about to get to work real soon.
Working where?
Child, Amazon, but I'm working flex.
Yes, make that little coin. Enjoy.
I'm telling them when I'm going to work. You ain't gonna give me no schedule, okay? But anyway,
enjoy, and don't stress too much.
Yeah, I'm not trying. Yeah,
enjoy.
Absolutely. I still have stuff to buy. Like, I have to get equipment for the show. So, I mean, if anything, I'll just get the equipment and dip. But anyway,
well, sliding into our hot topics, you may get to get some equipment off of Charlamagne the God because he may not be on the mic in coming weeks if things don't look better. What's going on in the world?
Ooh, that's a good segue. Okay, into the hot topics. Yeah, Charmaine, what's going on?
You there, Charmaine? I hate you.
I got that from T.S. Madison. But Charlamagne the God is well, apparently he's getting canceled. The radio host. Yeah, well, let's timeline this story because there's a whole lot going on with his situation. So apparently the radio host caught the wrath of former NBA star Kwame Brown. Kwame. Yeah, there we go. Kwame Brown. After Charlamagne spoke of his family and personal information, I guess, on the show on The Breakfast Club, which had caused Kwame Brown to like drag him on YouTube and stuff like that. Like, after that situation, it kind of opened up Pandora's box for, a lot of people are just bringing up his previous situations. Like Wendy Williams' ex Kevin Hunter spoke negatively about him. Various YouTubers like Lovely T and Star was calling him out and bringing up like the old sexual assault allegations that he had a couple years ago. Funk Flex and Ebro was bringing up problematic tweets, and Charlamagne was serving a lot of cease and desist this week. Like, it was.
Did Charlamagne respond at all?
Man, let me tell you something. The only thing he gave himself Donkey of the Day for what he was saying about Kwame Brown. Okay. He didn't give. He paid everybody else dust, but he was serving cease and desist to a lot of YouTube pages, like the Lovely Tees, like the Stars. I don't know what he's doing to can't really do much to Ebro and Funk.
He went Kardashian on y'all real quick.
He went Kardashian on y'all real quick. I'm like, first of all, and everyone's saying like, oh my God, this might be it. He might get canceled. Like, come on now. You think he's gonna get canceled?
Absolutely not. You know, it's funny what I found.
You said hopefully not.
The more you try to cancel people now during cancel culture, the bigger their platform grows, because now people want to know, why are we canceling them?
Right. I was trying. Look, when I tell you, I was trying to figure out what is the issue with this man, because we all have everyone has issues with Charlamagne. He's definitely said some problematic things in the past, but it's like, I mean, I was like, what did he do now? Like, I was like, then y'all bringing up his old shit. The thing about it is, though, in the court of law, he's innocent. You know, in the public, yeah,
he was tried.
He was tried, and it was proven he was proven not guilty. It was a long time ago. They were talking about the allegations with the girl that came out and said that he was that she was raped by him or whatever. Yeah,
yeah, I saw the video. There was a who else talked about that? I think your good friend Jason Lee talked about that on his show. About
he did.
Got one on some podcast.
Who friend?
He was crying, talking about what he had done to her daughter, and he was like, "Yeah, but you didn't want to press charges, but you know, you didn't want to get her on the stand to say anything."
Yeah, she didn't testify or nothing.
So it's very, very interesting situation. Charlamagne, you know, giving himself donkey of the day is usually his way of just saying, I acknowledge what's going on, and then he's gonna move on and pretend like none of this ever happened. And y'all will be counseling him and listening to him every day for the next 2 weeks.
My whole thing is, it's like, I get it, because on one hand, it's like, you know, people with platforms that make content that's based on celebrity lives. You know, you can't be living in glass houses. I get it. However, the heat is coming from his colleagues. It's like people that are doing the same thing, or his, you know, other radio hosts like Ebro and Funk. Like, we get it. They don't like each other, apparently. But I'm like, dang, like, we all can't just get along. But no, I mean, keep doing it, because it's real entertaining. I was like, I'm like, Funk Flex, you over here putting out tweets and stuff. I'm like, what are we doing? Not the caddy shit. Yeah.
Interesting concept. Well, speaking of living in glass houses, someone literally shattered her own glass house this week. Vivica Fox got on Vlad TV and was talking about how 50 Cent, you know, was and is the love of her life. I wish you had the clip so you could play it, but watching it, I felt like, okay, this is a nice intimate moment of Vivica Fox, you know, sharing about the love that she lost on. But the gag came when 50 Cent's new girlfriend, Cuban Link, got under the post and was like, "Oh," with the violin emoji. I'm like, wow, Vivica definitely opened herself up for that. Like, not the new bitch out here trolling.
You said I'm the new bitch out here trolling.
Right.
Yeah, it was definitely some secondhand embarrassment.
Were you embarrassed for her? Did you do like, oh?
I was like, first of all, when she said it, I'm like, come on now. Like, all the stuff that, because I had watched what Wendy said, it was like all the stuff that he done said about you, and, you know, he was really vicious. He's a really vicious person, okay? I get that y'all had like a good little fling at one point, but then even then, like, it wasn't even that, like, y'all got together. It was really fast. Like, it was like celebrity relationship time. You know what I'm saying? Like, they met up apparently, and then they just hit it off or whatever, and it just was too fast. I mean, she even said that, but
she didn't say that it was too fast. What she said was they went public too fast, and if she could change something, she would have kept the relationship private a little longer. Because when you go public, then you open yourself up to public opinion. You have other people giving their, you know, opinions on, you know, what this one is doing, what they've done, who you saw them with, and creating opinions about certain situations based off their perception of your relationship. And if you're not a person who's able to like distance yourself from public opinion, how it relates to your private life, then it can be damaging. And so I kind of understood what she said and why she said it. I just think that after so many years, like, why? It was almost as like questionable as P. Diddy posting J-Lo as his Throwback Thursday. Like, it was just, It's like, what was the reason?
You said, what was that reason?
What was the reason?
Now, see, look, and then you said it's a Vlad TV. You already know how shady Vlad TV is. You get what I'm saying?
Right on it. Look, it made it to the shade room, and Vlad TV hopped right on in the comments.
Okay, like, whoop. Like, you opened the floodgates for just people to say. Now, 50 Cent responded, and he didn't say nothing disrespectful. He was like, yeah, we were. It was a time. Like, I imagine she probably would say that. I mean, it's just weird. I was like, come on, Vivica, because we all been there though. Like, people that we done dealt with before, child, and someone asked how was it? Because I know I catch myself sometimes if I talk to people that I've talked to before, and it's like, oh, how was it? And I go in, I'm like, oh yeah, it was good. I kind of miss them. I'm like, no, you don't miss them. You're just still kind of, in that process. Well, not miss him, but it's like she says she still loves him.
Yeah, I mean, there are people in my past that I still love. Now, there are also some that I wouldn't piss on if they were on fire. You just have to own your feelings. You just have to own it, and you own your story. Now, I don't know.
Own it to yourself.
Now, I don't think she's not in a relationship though, right?
Mm-hmm.
So her going in public and saying that one of her exes was the love of her life is usually normal with people who are still single. While the exes are happy and moved on, blah blah blah. I can't see her being like, 50 Cent was the love of my life, because that'd be fucking weird. I also don't see him, responding saying, yeah, Vivica was love of my life, because we're definitely in a whole new relationship. So I think he was just sharing that of the experiences that she's had, dating, that he was probably the strongest connection that she's experienced. And that's fair for her to share that. I just was like, why? Like, that was so long ago, and like we stopped caring about that. Like,
now we stopped caring about it.
Years and years. I almost forgot. I'm like, damn, you dated 50 Cent. Isn't he was it him that said, or maybe it was her that said he likes his ass ate or something like that, or played with, or there was.
I thought that was Biggie.
What?
I thought that was definitely Biggie.
Biggie who?
Smalls.
No, child. No.
No, because Faith did say, all right, fine. Okay.
But I don't know about Faith saying anything about that. I'm not aware of any of those, but I do remember the whole the fiasco between 50 and Vivica, because but he went in on her. Like, we
know 50.
And then she went in, and then it was just like But in any case, good luck to her. Good luck to her wigs. Because it got yanked this week. So
not it got yanked.
I'm Vivica. I just we're not gonna tell that story to nobody else. Okay, we thank you for sharing, but we're just gonna let that. We're gonna let it go.
Sorry to this
moment, and we're gonna move on to something else.
Okay. Well, the next thing. What was we talking about? Eric, you heard about Erica Mena? Speaking of relationships.
Oh, the living hip hop lady that's having a baby with that Jamaican guy that was a hype man for the Queen.
Yo, y'all need to stop. Anyway, Erica Mena files for divorce, and the documents were filed last week, Friday. And Erica is reportedly requesting primary physical custody of their daughter, Sapphire, who is now 1 year old. However, the Love and Hip Hop breakout star has reportedly agreed to have a joint legal custody of Sapphire with Safari. So she wants the primary physical custody. He wants joint. It's given very much Brad and Angelina.
I mean, it's his kid too. He got money. She got money. She had a kid. She had a car.
He don't want that child support. He don't want to pay that.
I mean, no tea, no shade, but if I was wealthy and I actually liked my kids, I would want joint custody. Mm-hmm. I just feel like when you give primary custody to a parent, it's with the intention of because they can kind of take care of them better than you can.
Mm-hmm.
And when you pay child support, it is to support them taking care of the child better than you can. But if you're on equal footing, especially financially and time, they're not getting booked for nothing but club gigs. I mean, none of their music charts. They just, they're loving hip hop stars. So they ain't got nothing but time but to raise their kids and film their arguments for the rest of the world to see. So,
well, they also on OnlyFans, so that's gonna be hot for a little bit. It's gonna be.
They're both on OnlyFans, right? Don't you have OnlyFans too?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Poor kid. Anyway, well, good for them.
Kid.
Good for them.
You said good for them.
Mm-hmm. We wish them the best.
We're all going to watch Love and Hip Hop.
We're all going to watch it.
Anyway, I just wanted to bring that up because that was a pretty trending topic, surprisingly.
We're crying still.
Yeah, I don't really care for Erica Mena, but I do feel for her. I think that Safari is definitely probably one of the main reasons why divorce is even here. Even like last couple episodes ago, we were talking about how, well, I don't know if we talked about it on this show, but I remember I was very pissed at what she said about how he didn't want her to have another child because he didn't want her to get bigger or some shit like that. Like you didn't want her to gain weight. He didn't want her to gain weight. I'm like, that should have been your moment to be like, okay, so if I ever fall off visually, then that means you going. So no, Erica knew then. Oh yeah, this ain't the one. Mm-mm.
Well, you know how I feel about that. I've been watching my 600-pound life for the past three weeks, and I don't know if I woke up next to somebody that was 600 pounds, I'd probably be like, well, you know what? Actually,
yeah, but see, they got married, and it's like
bringing new life in the world. It's different. He may not be mature enough for that. I mean, they already had one baby. He knows what she look like when she fat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's kind of toxic though. Like, it's. Did you really love the person, or you just like the way the person looks? Like, that's just what it boils down to.
A little bit of both.
Yeah, but both. Okay.
Yeah, like, wouldn't you be attracted to the person that you're in love with? Like,
I mean, yes, you should be attracted to the person that you're in love with, but like, you should also love the person too.
Well, I mean, yes.
Like that should weigh more than visuals. I think.
Well, I mean, after watching Erica Mena for years, I mean, her being beautiful is definitely a plus and a coup to her, because as a person, there may not be a lot there.
But see, even though, okay, fine, that's fine and dandy. But like, what's the deal breaker weight though? Because it don't have to be 600 pounds. It could be, bitch, you gain like 50 pounds. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we don't know what's the deal breaker here. What's the weight that's going to be the deal breaker? So still, I mean,
do we care and do the people care? I'm gonna tell you this: we don't. We don't care. Erica Mena could gain 150 pounds. It'll hit the news or hit the blogs, and then we're gonna forget about it again. Okay. All we want to see is her be in a relationship and it fail. And it sounds bad to say that. It sounds horrible. And I know it sounds horrible. But in the world of reality television, these people have created characters for themselves. You know what to expect from them. We expect Erica Mena to pretend to put out music, be in a relationship with someone who actually does music or in that lane.
To be right back on Love Hip Hop.
Right. Get her check. If all
now, this is her second marriage, right? Because then she married Bow Wow? Or were they getting married?
Engaged. I didn't know
they were engaged.
Got married. That's not his ex-wife. That's his ex.
Oh, they were engaged, but she was living with him.
Right. Yeah. So
well,
that's why I was like, sorry to that kid. Like, just
dust yourself off and try again.
Get your check, Sapphire. Right.
Whatever that means. Anyway, all right, let's move on. Meghan McCain, child. Let me tell you something. I love watching The View. And I love that this is a hot topic because this was kind of, it's a lot of things that was brewing the beginning of the week. And on Monday's show was really interesting, right? They were talking about the Georgia rep, Marjorie Taylor Greene. She made like a Holocaust comparison and anti-Semitism. Like, she made a comparison about like the mandate on masks or whatever. It's like this Republican lady, crazy radical Republican, that equated the mandate on mask wearing to like to the Holocaust or whatever, right? And they were talking about this on The View, and everyone said their piece. And when it got to Meghan, she was like, "Oh, I just hope that people like, why is this even a topic?" And we need to keep the same energy on anti-Semitic situations and hate crimes that are happening against Jews and stuff like that, and this all the stuff that's happening. And she was bringing up the whole stuff with Palestine and all that. I was like, girl. And then she got on. Joy Behar got into it because she was like, I've been on this show for 25 years, girl. We've been talking about anti-Semitism and all these situations, discrimination against Jews for 25 years, honey. What are you talking about? So they went back and forth. Allegedly, they said that there was some kind of meeting after the show, child, and they said Meghan McCain stormed out because she felt like she was being teamed up on. I was like, ooh. Mm-hmm. But the executives at ABC are telling them to like calm down, the two of them. That's why you've seen like throughout this week, they kind of like, even when they were getting into the whole George Floyd situation and the documentary that had came out that day, she was like, they really didn't like interact with each other. Like everyone just said their piece and then moved on. It wasn't an argument this time. Like I was like, dang, what's going on? Is Meghan leaving, child? They gonna get rid of her?
I don't know. Megan, she reminds me, what was the girl's name before her? Elizabeth Hasselbeck.
Yeah.
That I feel like Megan is more secure in the space that she's in and that she occupies than Elizabeth was. So I don't think Megan's gonna go anywhere. She definitely holds her own and has been for the past 4 years. But this situation between Israel and Palestine, especially considering the world we live in now and the fact that we actually have access to information, America's alliance with Israel, because we were at one point considered a Christian nation, and how we uphold the how we condemn Germany or Nazi Germany of Hitler during that time, and how we honored the Holocaust and paid reparations to them, and all those things. I think that it gets really iffy and touchy when you actually start exploring the history of what's happening today between Israel and Palestine, and them actually fighting over land. And if you look at how this has been going on for a few thousand years, you notice that Israel is literally colonizing Palestinian land, and it's literally like making their land smaller and 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 smaller, kind of pushing them out of the region. And it kind of harkens back to the colonial nature of European colonization. Is something that America is not. We're not ignorant of. Is that that's how our country was also founded too? Is that
playing from Darren's iPhone?
Sorry.
That there was a bunch of white people that wanted land and they came and took it. And right now what we're seeing is that we support that. So we're at a place where, as a country, we're like, okay, well, we're more awakened now than we've ever been, and we're talking about all the stains on our history, but yet we want us as a country to support this same type of colonization and pushing people out of their homes and out of their land that we're now just starting to recognize and condemn in our own country. So it does put us in a really, really crazy place diplomatically, because like, okay, well, is America going to stand with Israel as they commit these war crimes against this nation of Arabs, or are we going to be a mediator and say, and call for peace, like that gave them 90 days to investigate and to get to some place of peace? But does that make us anti-Semites? Does that mean that we're not standing with Israel because we're not supporting them? I mean, they've already
we're in a weird situation. We're in a weird position.
Yeah, send millions of dollars and send ammunition over to them for them to use against these other people that they're pushing out. So it's like, are we going to support colonialism in the name of democracy, or are we going to call for an end of all of it and call for peace and just be like, enough is enough, just enough. This fight has been going on for thousands of years. This is not new. This is what's going on with Israel and Palestine and Hamas and these other areas even though the characters may have changed on the other side, it's been happening for thousands of years. And even their own text says there's going to have to come a time when there is peace. We need the peace. So I think Megan was kind of speaking to that. Like, we just have to keep that same empathy to Jewish people as we do to every other minority. And I think that she's speaking back to, like, right now when this whole stop anti-Asian hate, and going back to the Black Lives Matter movement and all these things.
Right. And I think,
With what you said was like, well, you're talking about towards Jewish people that we do every other minority. Like, Jewish people are not a minority. They're not a minority. The Jews are not a minority. There are a lot of Jews.
Okay.
There are a lot of European Jews, a lot of African Jews. Like, not a
right. Don't say that now.
What did Whoopi say? Okay.
Yeah. No, and I think a lot of them, we are so, and it's on both sides, because I feel like we're fighting the party. We need to be actually making decisions and actually talking about what's going on, and not always trying to make it a dig. And I feel like that's why Megan gets frustrated, because I feel like they always take digs on the Republicans, and I get it. Republicans say some real problematic shit, but we have other issues to really like talk about and go over, and you guys are wasting like 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? We're using this big platform, and Sonny did say, well, we should definitely, we don't have, a lot of us are not experts on this matter, and maybe we should bring somebody on. I'm like, yeah.
Because she's a professional.
Y'all mean to tell me y'all not going to talk about what's going on? Y'all just going to talk about the dispute between the Republicans and Democrats that's been going on for millennia? Really? So, okay. So now that you brought that to perspective, Derek, I do see that now. We just get jaded by like the way Megan comes off sometimes. Like, she comes off really, just a little, like, girl, you doing too much. But I will say that look, I don't like too many conservatives, but like, she's all right. She's not that bad. She's no Candace Owens. She's no Tomi Lahren.
One thing I will say about Meghan McCain is that she is strong in her convictions.
Yeah.
And even though I may not like her stance on a lot of different things, or I may not agree or be able to empathize with her on certain things because of the perspective she has is based out of a certain privilege that she's experienced in her life. I think that there are moments where she kind of like comes to reality, and that she can meet us here on the ground where real life is happening.
Meet us halfway, yeah.
And so it's good to see that in her. So I don't give her a pass, but I think that it's good to see that she does have that. She has those moments, and I think that what makes her a great fit for The View is that even with Joy and some of the other co-hosts that have been on the show, it's like, yeah, we have our own beliefs and we have our own convictions, but if there's something we can mutually agree on and kind of meet in the middle, they're willing to do that. And I think that Megan has shown over the past 4 years that there are some things that she's able to meet them in the middle.
Yeah.
So they just make good TV. Her and Whoopi. I was watching on Twitter of her and Whoopi.
She's like, girl, we gotta go to commercial. Like,
right, we gotta go to break. Like,
y'all be stressing Whoopi out so bad. We love to see it though. But anyway. All right, let's talk about music now, because I got to get into it. You guys liked our last video where we talked about, what did we talk about? We talked about The Twerkulator, Sun Goes Down by Lil Nas X, and we also talked about J. Cole's album today. We're not talking about any new music because no new music came out to mind. Well, DMX just came out with his album. I didn't listen to it yet.
Yeah, DMX album came out last night. Yeah.
Right. You said you listened to a couple of songs.
Yeah, I heard a few, 3 or 4.
Okay. Well, I didn't take the time. I didn't know it was out yet. See,
it's called Exodus. I don't know. Let me tell you what I have learned. Like, when artists die and like an album drops within a month of them dying, it just kind of makes me feel leery. Like, I know they were working on music and stuff like that, but it always makes me question like
what's y'all intention? Like, come on, y'all trying to make a little.
You know what I mean, I know. And
like, even when Drake used like Michael in his song,
his album was called Escape, or like the tour he was doing before that. This Is It. like the words, it's kind of like, ooh, this is just,
it's a
it becomes
little
cringy.
cringy.
Right. It makes me just feel different when I'm in music. And also, I think Swiss Beats produced most of this album, and all of the songs sound like songs that I've heard before. Like, there was this one song that he had, that DMX has on his album, and it sounds like Special Delivery. Like, I was literally in Harlem shaking, like, wait a minute, this song came out when I was fucking 12. Like, what is this? Like, y'all could give him no updated music, updated sound. Like, it's, you know, we've been waiting for him to come back out. Like, you couldn't give us no. Not saying we want to twerk the DMX. I'm just saying, you know, it's the album sounds dated. It sounded like it was a greatest hits album with music we never heard before.
Well, I will say this, you know, when older artists try a new sound, we've seen this with Lil' Kim, it just does not work out in their favor. Lil' Kim did.
No, because Missy Elliott can drop an album tomorrow, and it's going to sound current. It's going to sound fresh. She's going to give us, you know.
But it's Missy Elliott. Missy, it's her sound. It's like, okay, she can come out. I mean, she can come out with some new music. It sounds like she'll still sound like her regular sound, but it's a little bit different. But still, like when you try to go, were you expect them to be like completely like 180? Like
no. What I'm saying is like Jay-Z, as an artist, like if you listen to him when he had just started, like he's evolved over time. He's evolved. The sound
okay,
and he evolves with it. It's like, okay, this is what we're vibing to now. I'm gonna dabble in this. I'm gonna give him a little bit of my old school, and then I'm gonna give him a little bit of new sound. Like I feel like that's his formula. Like I'm gonna give you some old, I'm gonna give you some new, and I'm gonna give you something borrowed, and it works for him. Like that's why he keep getting #1 albums years after years after years. Some of these other older artists kind of get stuck in their moment. Like they get stuck in their era. And so when you bring it into today, it's like, well, yeah, this sounds nostalgic, but it doesn't sound like something I want to hear on the radio today. Like it's not something I would play today to get like pumped about. And no shade to DMX. This is literally something that I think about a lot of artists. And even as an artist myself, like when doing my new music, and I'm no megastar or anything like that, but I'm very conscious about, okay, well, if I'm doing this project, if I'm gonna do this song, like I do want to have some semblance of the stuff that I've done before,
right?
That, can relate to and that they know me for. But I also want to bring something new to it, to put my imprint on it, to be, kind of push, to be able to push it forward. Like a lot of artists, like these industry plants, they go in, they do their job, and they leave. They do what the industry tells them to do. You give them the trends, they follow the trends, and that's it. But real creatives is like you always want to find a way to echo what's in the room, but also bring in something different and kind of put your stamp and your foot into the future, right? And I just didn't get that from the songs that I heard. And I'm gonna go back and listen to the album probably today or tomorrow. But that's just not something that's not what I heard. I heard the sounds of yesterday. And it's like it's nostalgic. It reminds me of when we first was like, moments, but
okay. Well, we gotta get to the because we didn't talk about
Billboard Awards.
Yeah, the Billboard Awards. I talked about it on Monday. We're not gonna go over because I already went over like the synopsis, but like more over on it. A lot of people felt away when Victoria Monet, singer-songwriter, spoke about how she was not invited to the show. Now, for those who don't know, she's a singer herself, but she also writes for artists like Ariana Grande, Chloe and Haley, and many, many more. You get what I'm saying? And let me just say, she's a dope ass artist. I'm not gonna lie, because after this whole situation, I'm like, well, let me look what she got on the catalog, child. I listened to her recent album, Jaguar. Oh my God, she was robbed. First of all, that album was lit.
But did you see that visual?
Which one?
The visual that she did for Jaguar. Like
I didn't see the videos.
Sonic, when the world opens up, if Silk Sonic goes on tour, she's definitely gonna be on that tour. She's gonna be on that tour.
She should be, yeah. It was very like, disco and not disco, but
when it comes to these award shows, like the industry is very jaded and very like, tastemaker forward, but she'll be fine. I'm glad that she opened up her mouth, but she'll be fine. Her time is going to come. Like Victoria Monet, she can sing, she can dance, she can write, and that's where you make most of your money. Prince would have told you that, like, you make most of your money as you get your publishing and you write your songwriting credits, and that's where your money is. I need to start finding people to write for myself. Shit.
Right. But I'm just saying, I think what a lot of people are saying is it would be nice to see her be acknowledged or at least be invited to a Billboard Awards when you're also inviting, but just influencers that really they're not, I mean, what do they have to do with music?
Well, they influence the culture, and they also get people to tune in. So you also have to think about what kind of game they're playing. It's about a numbers game. How many eyes can we get on this award show? And
they did not deliver this year. But
I think that within the year, though, I think she was hot the 2019-2020 Billboard calendar year. Is when she had Ass Like That, and she did the song with Ariana Grande, and she wrote Seven Rings. So she had a really big year during that time. Over the past year, it's been kind of quiet outside of Jaguar, and that that wasn't like a number one song. It wasn't like a top 10. Like it wasn't. It didn't make as much impact on Billboard on that particular chart. So, I mean, I can understand why they didn't. I always think they should invite the artists, but when it comes to those type of award shows, the award shows itself, you're just trying to make sure that you get the eyes, the people that capture the younger audience, to get them engaged and make sure they watch the show. Yeah.
Well, I don't have any numbers to see how the ratings did, but I'm pretty sure that award show was. I spoke very critically about that award show last episode.
I forgot about Billboard Awards this year.
The lack of promotion, Stop.
Okay, but this year I didn't really see no clips.
Speaking of right, and it barely was trending on Twitter, which is a problem. But speaking of award shows, the BET Awards, they came out with their nominations list, and as you know, the BET Awards will be the first award show that will have a vaccinated audience. So it's going to be inside. It's going to be it's going to look somewhatly normal or more normal than how these award shows been. So we love to see it.
Well, wait a minute. If they're gonna be live, let me go ahead and send my letter in so I can be on the red carpet. So I get my
okay. I don't know if they're gonna do a red carpet appearance because Billboard's. I don't know. Billboard's they ain't had no red carpet. It wasn't because usually they have the red carpet before the show.
I'm gonna find out.
Yeah. Well, let me know because look, we could both be on there. Hey, what's up? We honed it down.
Get my outfit ready.
Okay. No. So yeah, DaBaby and Meg Thee Stallion lead with 7 nominations each. That's pretty. Yeah. I mean, they came out. They both had some good music that came out. DaBaby, I don't really feel him like that, but he's everybody love him. So if y'all like him, I love him. Anyway, many people were frustrated about the best female hip hop artist because they feel like there's a lot of colorism behind the set. There's nobody that's darker skinned. People was where's Flo Milli? Where's Tara Wack? Where's Chica? We had people let me look at the list right now because there was some people that's girl, what the hell she doing on here? Okay, we get it. Sweetie came out with a song. Coil Ray just came out with her song. Why the fuck Cardi B on there? Doja Cat, come on, Doja Cat's okay. They be putting her in every type of, and people got mad at
the girls that are charting. These are the girls that are booking performances.
Lotto is charting.
Girls, Lotto.
Lotto was charting.
Lotto is still. I think she's still in the top 100 for "Bitch from the South," and she's been doing
a
lot of different features. I'm a real ass bitch from the South. Ain't. I throw that ass back to see if he can catch it. Ain't that? But come on now, you know this. Anyway, in any case, I think that the BET Awards are pulling from the girls who are actually out in front and center. I think that Tara Wack is an amazing artist. She was even featured on Beyonce's latest album, The Gift. Flo Milli in this backpack, backpack needs a performance of its
That's
own.
What I'm saying. They at least deserved a nomination.
But I mean, even though we kind of know them, we're into who they are. They still haven't broken into mainstream yet. They're not mainstream. And Chica, I mean, she had an ad for the Super Bowl, I believe, this year. She's a dope ass artist. She's a queer artist as well, so I definitely support her. But they're still not considered mainstream artists, and BET is owned by Viacom. And
what they call it, the Beige Entertainment Awards.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, where they're white leaning. Yeah, we know. I mean, it's sad. It's sad. I hate to see it. I hate to see people not be, get the recognition that they deserve or whatever. But like, what the fuck is Cardi B doing on there? Cardi B did not come out with no new song, other than what? Okay, are we counting that?
Yeah, up.
I thought that was last year. Yeah. No. Oh yeah, it was this year. Yeah. Okay. All right. Whatever.
Cardi B has consistently put out 2 #1 songs like in the past 2 years. Like, didn't Up go #1?
Up did go #1 for a brief little second.
Yeah.
But
so and it's Cardi, so you know how that goes. Whatever.
Yeah, they trying to keep her nominated. They want to get another. They want to get like Nicki. Nicki was nominated 10, 12 times, got every award. I don't know about Cardi.
Well, Megan's gonna win this award, so it doesn't matter.
Well, so if it's up, then it's stuck.
Megan's gonna win this award.
I don't know. I think. I don't know. Meg, you think? You think Meg?
Let me tell you something. I don't know if you watch Legendary or not, but every episode they've been calling her like the queen of hip hop, or else she's like the queen on the hip hop chessboard. She's with Rock Nation, okay? And
your dog got something to say.
Yeah,
he got his input. Okay.
Yeah, he loves Meg Thee Stallion's bitch. But Megan's gonna win that award for best female hip hop artist, and it's because of the girls in it. Who is the most consistent when it comes to actually producing hip hop music. Doja is a phenomenal rapper, but Doja is a pop artist.
And that's why a lot of people are mad that she's even in this category.
But she can rap. Okay? She can rap.
Yeah.
She's not a rapper. She's a pop artist. She's multi-talented. She gives great visuals, gives great live performances. But Meg is a rapper. Meg is a rapper. You know, she pushes her own pen.
Okay.
And when she hits, she hits. So I think that
you think Meg got it.
I would put my life insurance policy on
Meg. Oh, well, all right.
On Meg Thee Stallion winning.
Shout out to Meg. She's gonna win
at the BET Awards. I think last year they went to Cardi, right? We had it last year.
Yeah.
We had it went to Cardi for WAP or did they have a BET Awards that year? I don't remember.
They did. It was a broadcast. It wasn't no show. That was during the pandemic.
I think it went to Cardi still.
It went to Cardi. Well,
it's going to Meg this year. Mark my words.
Well, we'll love to see it. We don't.
Megan's sleeping this year.
She got 7 nominations. Anyway, one last topic in music I want to talk about was SZA. She hates her label. She posted something on social media, but she deleted it quick. But she voiced her frustration at RCA Records and Top Dog Entertainment about her treatment of Good Days. Now, the thing about it is, though, I did notice something weird about Good Days. Like it just, I guess it didn't get the push that it won, and they kept on. They didn't post it or not post it. They didn't drop it when it needed to be dropped. I think the momentum kind of left by the time she actually got to dropping the song. So that's why I didn't really do as she thought it was going to do. Because when we heard it and hit different, because she features her new songs at the end of her videos, I was like, damn, like I can't wait till this shit come out. But yeah, SZA. I mean, I hate that this is like her next album that she's trying to promote, and it's like things are just not going right. And you know how these new R&B artists are. They be like, I'm tired of this shit. I'm about to quit now. I'm like, please, SZA, please, SZA, do not do that. Don't do a Summer Walker.
Oh Lord, I don't think it's gonna happen. SZA will be fine. But anytime that artists are voicing their frustrations about their label, the label's either gonna give them what they want or they're gonna get out of that deal and then sign with another label. So I think SZA's gonna be fine. The people are there. People love her music, love her artistry. So I think she's gonna do very well. She's a New Jersey girl.
Hello.
And she'll be fine. She'll be fine. But Good Days is an amazing song
and visual. Oh
and
my goodness!
visual. Like this bitch, like, what am I eating wrong? Like I was looking at a gift they made of her falling down that hill, and I was like, break something going down that hill. Like this bitch is too talented for me.
Mm-hmm.
But love SZA,
and they gonna sit there and come for her because she was lip syncing at the damn Billboard Awards. Half of these dudes lip syncing shit.
Now, I will say this though. I did get a chance to see SZA perform in 2017 at Afropunk when Solange was headlining.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And I know later on I found out that she had surgery on her vocal cords because she had like nodes or some shit going on. But I was like, this should have.
Come on.
I wish she had lip sync, man.
Well, shit, if you don't lip sync, you're gonna come for her vocals. It's like, I think some people, and it's okay if you're not really a strong singer, but make good music.
Like Rihanna.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, I don't want no nation, no Navy nations coming for us, but like,
I'm part of the Navy. That's what I said. It would take a long time. Like Rihanna really went in, like she really went in and like started practicing more and like worked on her vocal ability because her live performance, she'd be like, girl, you can't sing, but you so pretty, and you little island girl be moving.
And her music is good. You cannot sing and your music be good.
Right, and her music is good. Like her music is good.
Mm-hmm.
Like pump the beat, DJ. So I mean, like I said, she's gonna be just. I have full faith that SZA is gonna be just fine. She'll be just fine.
Period.
Now, since we're talking about music and artists that are going to be just fine, our jam of the week this week has been a song called "Between Me and You" by D. Hawkins. And for those of you who have been watching the show over the past few weeks, you know that we have been covering Chasing LA, which is part of the Chasing Reality franchise. It's a YouTube web series produced and starring LGBTQ artists from different places. They have Chasing Dallas, Chasing Atlanta, and now we are in Chasing LA. And we have a very, very special guest that's going to be here today with us to recap this season and give us a little more information about him as an artist and as a person. So excited to have him here today. We talked about him on the show. If you watched our episode before last when we had Hershey LaCour on, you know exactly who we're talking about. All right, we're none other than the incomparable D. Hawkins. Now, D. Hawkins is a young Black creative from the South. He's building his brand in the city of dreams, relocating to Los Angeles on a determined journey. He's giving hope and inspiration to every small town kid that has a dream bigger than the life they've ever known. He is a very multi-talented creative that explores the worlds of music, entertainment, fashion design, interior design, and professional modeling. He is the true definition of the young mogul in the making. Please help us welcome D. Hawkins.
Hello.
What's going on?
Yes.
What's up?
Glad to be
good to see you.
We are so excited to have you here today.
I'm excited to be
looking good, feeling good, got the beard on.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you know what? It is so funny that some people on the show seem to think that my facial hair is fake.
The people on our show or the people on your show?
No, not your show. You know, just like viewers, some of the viewers. Because,
well, now we're gonna touch on why they think it's fake later on in the interview. But like I said, we're so glad to have you here and present an opportunity for you to share yourself with our audience and for us to get a chance to know you a little better. So I noticed in your intro, you being from the South. Now, where are you actually from?
So I was born and raised in a small town called Tyler, Texas. However, when I was 18, I moved to Dallas, Texas, and I lived in Dallas, Texas, went to college and everything, stayed there for a little over a decade.
Oh, okay. A little small town called Tyler, Texas. Now I'm from Shreveport, Louisiana. I don't know how.
Oh, about an hour and a half from Louisiana.
Exactly right. So we know Tyler, Texas. So while you were in Dallas, and my dad is from Dallas, so I used to spend my summers in Dallas every year.
Okay.
In Dallas, is that where you kind of started getting your itch for, the entertainment world? Because For those who don't know, he's a singer, songwriter. He's into fashion. You know, he be dressed and stuff like that. So is that where you kind of like found your calling while you were?
As far as the fashion goes, yes. I actually went to the Art Institute of Dallas for fashion design. So, got my fashion design degree there. But as far as music goes, that's been embedded in me for quite a long time, probably about 2 years old. My mom, she's a classically trained musician. I actually have, I guess you could say some famous OG uncles or whatever. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of an old group called the Coasters. They sung a song called Yaggity Yak, Don't Talk Back, Charlie Brown. The Call
Yaggity Yak, Don't Talk Back.
You better know it. Yeah, that's actually.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I grew up, with music embedded, and then, of course, my mom, she was a musician in church all my life. So, I was one of those church kids. You would think I was a PK, but I was a musician kid, but I was in church 3-4 days out of the week. So that's kind of where that started.
Very good. Okay. Well, that does make sense. Listen, being one of those church kids, you ain't got no choice but to get into music or fall into dance with the praise team or fall into ministry, as some do. So we're gonna go through. You went through college. You got your degree in interior design and fashion design. Mm-hmm. So I know that you just launched your new fashion store, online store recently, right?
Yes, so I just launched my first urban wear clothing line, Wear DH Clothing. It's at www.worldofdh.com. So that one launched. Is actually doing pretty well, quite successful so far. I'm grateful for that. The next launch is a little bit more for, I guess you say, our grown and sexy crowd. I'm bringing back the classic turtleneck, but the first collection is going to be called the Crayola collection. It's going to be unisex for guys and girls, short sleeve, long sleeve, turtleneck dresses. Just really depends on what you want. Different fabrics, different materials, so that way you can actually wear it in warmer climates. But yeah, just really whatever you want to, however you want to rock it.
All right.
I design for everybody. That way the income comes in from every direction.
Yes. Well, they say that, the average millionaire has to have 7 streams of income. And so we definitely support you making more streams.
I appreciate that.
So you also are, sorry.
Go ahead, Darren.
You also said that you're into interior design. So what aspect in that?
Basically, complete interior design. If you go to my Instagram page and in my bio, you'll see where it says I Design by D. Hawkins. That'll get you directly to my interior design Instagram page where you can kind of see in the background. This is kind of where I redesigned my fireplace. You see the DH and everything. I would turn the other camera around to where you kind of see the other, but it's a little bit of a mess back there because I've been sewing and practicing for an upcoming performance that I have. But yeah, I do interior, exterior design. I do home staging. I do set design for, like movies.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure you kind of recognize the fireplace from the Chase.
We definitely recognize the fireplace. Yes. Definitely.
Yes, I do set design for Chase in LA as well. So, yes.
Very good. So now that we've moved on up, up the ladder of all your many talents, now it's time for us to learn you as the reality star that you are now. I know that you've spent a couple of years building your presence online, on social media, Instagram. How did you get connected to Chasing Reality? Did you audition? Did you know people who were in production or on the cast already? Or how did that process work for you?
Well, honestly, it's like the universe just had it in store for me. I knew nobody on the cast. I didn't know anyone in production. I was on Instagram one day and I just so happened, because I had already been following the Chasing Reality brand. But I just so happened to see a post that Chasing Reality was preparing to launch Chasing LA or audition for it. And I said, you know what? Hey, I'd only been in LA maybe about a month and a half at that point. But I said, you know what? It's worth a shot. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of big names, but I feel like I'm a big name in the making. So why not? Let me try it out. And here we are.
Mm-hmm. Well, we love to see you on the show.
We love to see it. Actually, when during the first the premiere, I love the Chasing Reality universe. Now I don't think I hadn't followed you yet on Instagram, but I had seen posts of you before on my feed, and I was like, so when I saw, I was like, oh, I know him. Like I didn't know you, but I recognized who you were more so than a lot of the other bigger names on the show, if you will. And I was excited because I knew that, and it may sound a little vain, but when I'm watching queer produced entertainment, I'm always looking for myself in it, right? Like you're always looking for like, how will I be able to relate to this program that I'm investing my time and energy watching? And once I saw you, I felt like, okay, he's about to give us fashion. He's giving us the things. He's about to be sassy and smart. Like I was very excited to see you be a part of this cast outside of recognizing maybe a few people. But I was excited to see you in that space and operating in that space. Now we're landing here. I think we're in episode 6.
Episode 6, yeah.
Episode 6 just came out last night, and we're gonna walk up to there. But what has it been like for you being on a reality show versus your regular life being D Hawkins? What is it like for you now being a reality star?
Well, I will say that, throughout the entire taping process and, probably all the way up to episode 4, with my whole, with my whole illusion and look and everything, life was pretty simple. I could step out, a few people would recognize me and be like, hey, aren't you, that guy from now? It's like, if I step out of the neighborhood, hey, aren't you D Hawkins? And it's just like, I can't go to Hollywood, aren't you that? Yeah. So, it's kind of crazy. And then, just all the love and support, via social media, people back from my hometown, back in Texas and stuff, it's like you hear about it, growing up or, when you're, younger, like a small town celebrity, stuff like that or whatever. But, it's like I'm getting ready to actually go back to Texas here in a couple of days for a bit. And, people are like, that I hadn't talked to in years. They're like, oh, well, you got to hit me up. We got to hang out. Da, 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 da. And I'm just like,
look, like, I understand. And look, like, who you get? You come to find out that you have so many different cousins that you've never met before.
Oh,
that part. Everybody's a cousin, then everybody starts struggling.
It's the hey boo and all this for me. It's like people I
ain't never said nothing to me. Right.
Big Head, how you been? And I'm like, Big Head, who is this?
Big Head, who are you?
Who?
Like 6, 7 years. Where'd you come from?
Well, good. So have there been any new opportunities that have presented themselves? Are you being on Chasing Reality or Chasing LA?
Definitely. There have been opportunities. You're actually going to see an appearance that I'm making in a movie called Another Love Story. That's going to be premiering on Netflix in September.
Oh,
I have a live performance in Vegas coming up on June the 5th at Eagles Club, starting at 10 p.m. So if anybody that is watching the stream is in Vegas at that time, definitely come out and support. Let me see. In addition, so I'm hosting a brunch downtown on Sunday. And, that's going to become a reoccurring thing. So, opportunities are presenting themselves, plenty of interviews and different things like that.
Yeah. Working.
Unlike, what on contrary to what some say, some of us are really working.
Period.
And even down to the extent, what people see on camera on Chasing LA, it's like they see a different illusion, versus what you're seeing now. This is D Hawkins in his most relaxed state. Versus the D Hawkins that steps in front of the camera, that actually gives you every aspect of what I've become.
Right. Now, speaking of you stepping in front of the camera and giving us illusions, that we could not have this interview with you without addressing episode 4? When I said it on this show. Now, one thing about the doll is, listen, I said what I said. When you got on that camera, right. When they panned up,
I died.
Baby, when I said, yes, they done got Tammy Roman on this show. She's one of Basketball Wives. Now, the first thing I said was, because at first I didn't believe it was, I wasn't really paying attention as to who it was, because it took me a minute to kind of like adjust my brain. So what I was saying, I was like, now this is elevation. Like they done brought Tammy Roman to Chasing LA. She left Basketball Wives to be on Chasing LA. this is crazy. And then I realized, like, oh, wait a minute. So this is D Hawkins in Geesh. So I know that after the episode aired, and there was a lot of speculation or like questions about like, why did he do that? It was just so random. It was like, girl, what the fuck is going on? I know you went on Instagram and you kind of explained to us that it was kind of planned that way for you to be able to give us that moment and why it was so special. So take this time to explain to our viewers why did you choose to go with that look and what it meant to you to do it.
So basically, it's kind of a two-part scenario. Okay. Now, of course, with all the drama circulating on the show, regarding the whole transphobia thing, and and Hershey, of course, when he came to the show, like that night at Hamburger Mary's or whatever, when he performed, he and I had a conversation, along the lines of him saying, how he didn't really know how he would be perceived throughout the season, as a drag queen, in comparison to, other people. And then, with all the drama with the trans women, and then the whole thing with them calling Fran transphobic, and then Fran wanting to be identified as
binary, as
non-binary and things like that. I said to myself, you know what, as a creative, let me step into my most creative sense. By the way, I've got a whole my first single getting ready to drop. I've got a clothing line getting ready to drop. Most people don't really know who D Hawkins is. They're inquiring about D Hawkins, but the reason I'm on this show is to expand my brand, introduce people into my life, who I am, and to have them inquiring about what I've got going on. So I said, what better way to not only, show love to my girls on the show, bring, more exposure to my brand, but also educate people at the same time. I decided to do a little bit of research or whatever, and the look and the illusion that I gave was a tribute to one of our LGBT activists many years ago, back in the 1960s, Miss Marsha P. Johnson. Now, a lot of people didn't know or don't know anything about Marsha P. Johnson because, of course, the new generations, as we get older, we tend to just look at those that are currently in front of us. But I said, you know what? I'm not getting into drag. I don't want people to think I'm necessarily, trying to be a drag queen or anything like that, because I feel like I'm a big enough drag king as it is. But yeah, I said, you know what, let me just shake it up. And there's different ways of shaking it up. Some people like to shake stuff up by being messy. Some people like to shake stuff up by, crying and calling people out of their names and stuff. But I said, you know what, I'm a creative. This is what I do. This is what I'm bringing. And really, I don't give a shit what anybody thinks about it, because at the end of the day, people are going to know who Hawkins is, and they're going to want to know more about what he represents. And I feel like mission accomplished.
It did just that.
You did what needed to be done. It gave what needed to be given. And for those of you who are watching who may not know who Marsha P. Johnson is, she was an activist who was also a Black trans woman. She's the one that threw that first brick at Stonewall, known as the Stonewall Riots, which later began for us to be known, for our generation. That is what gay pride. That's when gay pride started. She was the
pioneer for that.
The pioneer for that. And also to your point as a creative, for you to even have the foresight to say, okay, well, this is what's going on in the show. This is what's going on in the cast. This is the topic level of discussion and the kind of like discord that we're having. Let me take this opportunity to kind of like address it without addressing it. And also be able to use it to my advantage. I think it was damn near genius. You know what I mean? Because it did exactly. Well, I was like, well, Dan, he got us, because we always, because literally when it happened, the only question that we had was why? How did this? Why is this here? And what does it mean? Right? And then you waited. You just let it go. Like, yeah, talk about it. Yeah, I did it.
Look, you know what? I'm like, you know what? Keep talking about it, keep chatting about it, let these streams keep coming, because of course I will post and I will put my music out, and literally over 5,000 streams within a week and a half after, posting. So it's just like, thank y'all from the bottom of my heart, and the bottom of my wallet. Okay.
So now I was gonna ask you, now before you got on Instagram and posted your receipts, about, contacted production about you doing the confessionals and, explaining to the public why you did it, even though we probably would have loved for it to hear. However, I wanted to know, had you ever done drag before? Was that your first time doing that kind of look? Or is it something that you'd be interested in doing again in the future?
So no, that was my first and more than likely the last time, unless I'm graced with the opportunity to maybe play RuPaul in his biopic or something like that in the future. Where it's going to be a lot of universe. Oh yes, you got to speak it into existence, right?
Yeah, you're going to Roger Paul over that, right?
Well, I mean, I don't know because if they are really looking for the correct body type, I've got it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, hey, I've actually been close to RuPaul before. We stand close to the same height and, same body type and everything. I can give an illusion if I so choose. And the thing about it is people were like, well, why is the makeup like that? Why is he looking casket sharp? And,
Mm-hmm.
once I actually posted the pictures of Marsha P. Johnson, then they realized I was actually channeling a specific look.
Now, I'm gonna say this. Now, when you posted like, "Oh, I was trying to channel Marsha P. Johnson," first of all, don't be trying to say our pioneers was out here being ashy like that. I know that. You could have found. I said, "Why you ain't called Hershey over to come and do your makeup? She could have gave you this glam sickening, illusion." You know what I mean? But I also realized that Marsha P. Johnson did have a basic look because she wasn't a drag queen per se. She was literally walking and stepping into her truth, and so when you said it, I got it. But at the same time, I was like, "Now, come on, now, we're not back there in the 70s, 80s. You could have came and got you some."
Yeah, because the thing is, if I were trying to give anything other than that exact illusion, then truth be told, hell, I could have did my own makeup.
Wait, somebody did that makeup for you? Somebody did your makeup for you for that confessional?
Yeah, I actually had it done specifically like that for that confessional look.
Oh.
So like literally, here's the picture, of Marsha and me. The only major difference for that was I chose not to go with the red lip because, I wouldn't wear red. But yeah, it was all very strategic. I think, and like I said, it worked in my advantage in the long run. But I almost feel like if production would have included the actual storyline and the pitch with it, it would have made much more sense.
It would, yes.
It would have a much bigger impact.
But then again, it's just like, hey, I sent the communication out, to actually include it. It was declined, but I'm not going to fight production over, what they choose to do. So it is what it is.
Right. So now we talked about RuPaul, and you got the body type. Now I watched this last episode. I was watching with my boyfriend and one of his best friends, and we noticed something about. About the body type, honey. And luckily, at the end of the show, we saw the preview for the next episode where you were getting cupping. So, is your booty fake, or is that all your jelly? You just got to rearrange and moved in a way that needs.
What? I didn't even know where y'all was going with this. I'm like, what was up?
So my ass.
You ain't seen.
I've seen the previews for the next episode. No, I've seen that procedure done before. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, so it's called body sculpting. So I want to introduce the world, the LGBT community, to those that don't know about body sculpting. I want to introduce them to that because a lot of us, in the community, over the years, we tend to go to these black market options and, they're very health, risky when it comes to health and stuff. So I just want to introduce people to another option that's non-surgical, but still very proactive in that sense. So yes, my ass is 100% real. I do get some things maneuvered and moved around and pushed around to exactly the way that I want it to. But yes, it is real.
Like, let me get me a girdle and some sculpting real quick. So I can
no, I've heard of that procedure done. I have a friend that has her own because she's from Philly. Philly, they she has like a firm that does that. I've seen that procedure done before, so it was like, that's why when y'all was talking about it, I'm like, well, what?
Yeah. Oh no, that thing was thanging on the last episode. We got to see you move a little more in this last episode. We was grabbing drinks and leaving. Like, wait a minute, I'm not. There was a lot of emotion going on in the episode, so I ain't gonna lie. I was looking to see what I was seeing, so I could see, like, am I seeing what I think I'm seeing?
Right.
To my knowledge, episode 7 is primarily going to be specifically the body sculpting scene.
Very good.
Okay.
So You know, like you saw, I think in the initial preview or whatever, you know, where you saw me getting the laser work done on my stomach or whatever, you know, where that burns the fat. And then, you know, of course, I had to turn over for the other half of the scene or whatever, you know, to get the actual.
For the laser. So that's how you get your abs? You just burn the fat away?
Yeah, so basically what they do, well, I mean, I could stand up and show you, but basically what they do.
Show me! Show us!
So basically what they do is they put the laser there and it redirects it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it redirects, so it burns it down.
It burns it and moves it.
It liquefies the fat, and then they redirect it to your ass.
And then you pull it,
Oh, God, I need that. Hold on, wait.
Yeah, so like so basically, like even myself, like okay, once I get once I have my procedures done and stuff, I'll sleep like in a girdle, stuff like that, just to make sure that everything stays intact.
Now, I don't want to get in your pockets, but how is one of those kind of like sessions cost? Because I might be in LA for the BET Awards, and I may in that weekend getting me a little bit of.
Well, you should definitely hit me up. My good friend Coco, who her business is Snatched Bitch Body Sculpting. I actually had her to come to my home and do the actual procedure for me. Because I'm not a real big fan of going behind a bunch of people when it comes to COVID and stuff like that. But the sessions can cost, anywhere from I think $120 up to like $180. Typical sessions for myself are like $160, somewhere in there. Of course, if I'm doing a little bit of a promotion or like stuff like that, it might be a little bit cheaper or whatever.
How many sessions do you need before you see results? Like how many sessions do you need?
You actually see results. Like on my stomach specifically, I saw results immediately. The first day. Now, of course, after 2 to 3 sessions, whatever, you see more of a, more dramatic sense. But as far as my ass goes, I will say with that, it's already very well naturally sculpted and it's already big. So I can't say that I just see definite results with that immediately, but like I do know that it keeps everything, how can I say, plump to where I don't have any
plump and tight. Right. Where it needs to be. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. I definitely will be hitting you up offline when I come to LA because my best friend still lives in LA. I left there 10 years ago, but she's still there, so I may have to.
Right.
Definitely feel free to reach
out. There's a lot of drama going on around you now on the show. Over the past few episodes, you seem to be one of the unproblematic cast members. There seems to be a lot of drama. You seem like you're very much about your business. Let me get this song done. Let me get this video. Let me do this shoot, blah, blah, blah. And in the last episode, we were exposed to something that apparently one of the other cast members wanted you not to expose. And that was your, miniature relation. Should we call it a relationship or we should call it like a situationship with Jeremy Copeland?
If anything, it was a temporary situationship.
A temporary situationship. Now, your reaction to it also allowed us to see a side of you that we had not seen before, where you seem to be very upset. That's the only word I can use. Now, most people, like I know that, like in the reality TV space, we always see that production kind of like guides stories. Do you think that this was a moment that production kind of forced on you, or was it something that you really were kind of like blindsided by, or did you know it was coming eventually down the pipeline? And what did Jeremy say? Was it true about you waiting for him or waiting for someone else to bring up his past so that you could drop the tea yourself?
Right, because we've seen the scene where Quan said that in the sipping paint scene or whatever that you told him to like bring it up.
A good lying ass.
Ooh, okay.
So was it production that kind of pushed the story, or do you think?
Okay, so let me start with the root of it all. So basically, Quan and I, and as you can see, throughout the show, whatever, we had actually gotten pretty close. A lot of the stuff, wasn't seen as far as more of our personal, hangouts and conversations and stuff like that. But Quan and I were literally talking like every other day type of scenario. Like I consider him to be a close forming friend, keyword forming, because, like I said, me being from the South, I'm the type of person, I base my dealings off of an individual until they show me otherwise, so when I feel and when you present yourself to be a genuine person, when you call yourself my friend, I don't use it loosely. So I consider you that until you just prove to be something else. But anyway, so I had a conversation. So after Hershey's event that night at the park or whatever, Jeremy and I, had a huge fallout. A couple of weeks had passed by, and I was really going through about that situation or whatever, with Jeremy or whatever. And keep in mind, I hadn't been in LA that long.
Right.
I didn't have a lot of people that you could really call friends or whatever. So I didn't really have anybody I felt comfortable talking to it about that wasn't just going to go out and blast it to the whole damn public. So me thinking, okay, hey, Quan seems to be cool. He's presented himself to be, somewhat of a friend. I feel like I can, have a conversation with him in confidence and not have to worry about anything messy coming out of it. So, I basically, because he was asking me, he's like, I haven't, talked to you in a few days, like what's going on, it's been a couple of weeks, woo. Because, of course, again, we were filming during COVID time, so a lot of our scenes were spread apart,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So talk to him about it, just basically it was just like, well, this is what happened or whatever, because nobody on the cast knew anything about me and Jeremy. Even when I had my conversation with Quan, it wasn't to the extent that, oh, me and Jeremy are talking. It was just more so Jeremy and I got into it really bad, outside of, Hershey's event or whatever that night, or outside his apartment that night after Hershey's event. And he asked me, he was like, well, what was it about? And I was like, well, Jeremy was pissed off that I had made a post on my story, basically saying it was an underwear post advertising "Oh Bobby Behave." Now, this is the same post that I had already advertised previously. It's just this particular post, instead of putting "Shop Oh Bobby Behave," keep in mind I'm a brand ambassador for them, so I put on there, if interested, hit me up in the DM. Now, what that meant, now, of course, a person can take that however they want to take it, but my thing is, I know that, of course, guys that may be attracted to the image that they're seeing, they're going to hit me up in my DM. And what they're going to receive in return is my shop code. Here's the discount code. You get 20% off. Thank you for hitting me up. Now, any logical adult would have at least inquired as to what was that about. But, Jeremy getting in his feelings for whatever reason, I don't know. He got mad about it, pissed off about it. What is that?
Is that the video?
That's the video post of the brand ambassador video right there. That's just black and white. I'm just looking at the other ones myself personally.
Okay, so you can see for yourself.
I can see it, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So basically Jeremy got upset because of that post. And like I was saying on the show, like I was doing this before we met, I was doing this when we met. Hell, these are the pictures that you were liking when we got acquainted, when we were sitting together and you begging me to send you photos and stuff like that or whatever that you wanted. So why are you getting upset and getting an attitude? Like me personally, right. I felt like it was somewhat of an excuse or an scapegoat or, something to that extent for whatever reason. But I don't know. I don't understand. But that's.
Do you think that he was using? Do you think he was kind of using it to kind of amplify his storyline a little bit? Because Jeremy hasn't really had much. He hasn't had much action until probably this episode. We hadn't heard his voice.
Right. Not heard his voice.
Until like last night. I was like, oh, he talks. Like
exactly. Like, no, we talked before the show. We said I told you, I said he did a whole 180. I was like,
well, see, this is the thing, and no tea, no shade, but this is the difference when it comes to real talent versus a name. And I don't mean like I said, I don't mean no shade behind that, but and as a choreographer, I'm sure he's very talented in what he does, but like people, like some of us that are actually on the show for the reason that the show was created, chasing LA, we are giving y'all everything that we do. People like myself, like Hershey, like, Andre, on contrary to how people feel about Andre, he works his ass off. Andre has given me opportunities, within his field, that have put me on, and I'm very appreciative. But that's the thing. Some people feel that because they've been here a long time, because they have a name for themselves already, that they don't really have much they don't need to give, they just attract the attention because of who they are. But people like myself, call me a starving artist, call me, a clout chaser or whatever you want to call, but this is the reason that I'm here, for you to know who I am and for me to be introduced into this brand. So
yeah, like,
and Payne said a pussy hole.
And the thing about it is, though, it kind of like a lot of the cast members seemed to me, it seemed like they were breaking the fourth wall because they were saying that you're clout chasing, you're trying to find a storyline when, I mean, this is a reality show. Like, what are we on here? The same people that saying that y'all not really bringing nothing though. And this is a classic high school, popular kid versus the kid that, that has the talent that is trying to get where he's trying to get. So I see where you're coming from. And I see it too when watching it.
Because quite honestly, like I said, I have respect for everybody, on this brand and everything, even those that I don't, necessarily get along with at this point, I don't have anything negative to say to them, unless that they approach me or provoke me,
Right. But, is that why you block Quan?
Huh?
Is that why you block Quan?
Oh, I don't like him.
Okay. You don't like him, you said?
I don't like him.
I don't like Quan either. And I can't wait to bring him on the show.
Yes, no, because ever since that comment that he made the first episode about the
you can play
colorism comment.
You're both dark. Y'all both dark. Y'all both. Hold. Wait a minute,
honey. I'm telling you that. Ooh, child. Let me just. Honey, his big Miss Potato Head looking ass.
Okay. Ooh.
Let me hush.
Our next caress.
Look,
but no. Well, I mean, you got the answer that we wanted for. So you and Jeremy, do you guys kind of resolve this throughout the show, or is this something that just kind of this is the episode we got to get a peek in?
Well, as you can see, it trickles on a little bit further, into the finale.
Are y'all good now? Are y'all good now, though?
I would just say stay tuned to see.
Oh, okay.
Well, I will. I mean, we watch. Okay, so we will be watching. Now, we also have a new single out. You said, well, yeah, don't get people too much, but we have to be in your business a little bit because we want to get some tea to make sure that people keep watching because I need to know what's going on around here in the background. Also, before we move into your promotion phase, because I know that you've got so many new things coming. You got the fashion line, you got a new song out. I want to talk about last night's episode, and not just with you, but with the same questions we asked most of us. Like, who do you feel are like your best friends on the cast? Like, if you had two people, who are your favorite people that you've bonded with, and that you feel like you're going to be friends with, through the next 3 or 4 seasons of Tasting LA, or if you got to council tomorrow, like these are going to be your friends. Who have you with most?
I would definitely say the people that I've grown the closest with, cast-wise, would be Andre and Fran.
Andre and Fran.
Okay.
That is interesting because I see them as problematic. So with Fran, because I'm glad you're moving this interview definitely in the right direction. Last night, with the altercation between Andre and Jayla, and we love Jayla. We had Jayla on the show about 3 weeks ago. Why did Fran get involved in that situation? Do you know, or do you have any background? I don't know if you Jeremy at that time, but like from your perspective, like what did you make of that?
Basically, Fran, being a friend of Andre's, and Jayla constantly provoking the scenario. She just kind of had enough of it. Fran just kind of had enough of it, in that sense. And I can appreciate Fran because a lot of people do try to perceive Andre as the bad guy because this is the thing. Some of us on the show really and truly have a brand, have a name that's being created, and we have shit to lose. Mm-hmm. Some of them really do put on for the camera and just try to take an opportunity, any chance that they get. Hence, like in that scene when Jeremy and I were going through our scenario, and Jayla kept trying to pry in and talk and say this and say that or whatever. And Andre was like, can you just shut up for a minute? Let them hash this out. Let them talk. And she was steady trying to talk, or whatever. And so, of course, that basically re-provoked him again, got him upset or whatever. And he's just like, you know what, child, screw this shit or whatever.
Right. Don't you feel like she was trying to change the subject since you guys were kind of y'all were kind of doing this cat and mouse thing that it seemed like it wasn't going to end or end well. And so she was kind of trying to like change the subject. However, I felt like from me watching the show as a viewer, and I wasn't there, but from what I saw, it was like Jayla is trying to like move the energy, like shift it into a different space so that y'all can kind of like cool off and like just we can dead this because it wasn't looking good for either party because people who have come to know the D Hawkins brand.
So let me just kind of clear the air on that. So basically, that may be the way that it looked to the audience, but that's not really what was going on. At this point, you know, I had actually just came back in from outside because you saw where I had made my exit. You know, basically saying this bipolar ass shit. So I went outside. I had to go find a friend. Now, Lord knows, you know, I don't smoke. But that night, I needed a cigarette to calm my nerves, and I knew Fran was outside, and I'm like, bitch, give me a cigarette, let me hit it before I have to go in.
Now they got you smoking Lucy's, friend. They done drove you to smoke.
Yeah, so basically that's what that was. So about 15 minutes later, you know, after I completely cooled down, and they, you know, we're gonna make sure that I wasn't gonna go in there and tear the whole room up. You know, I walked back and as I'm coming back in to sit back down, that's when Jayla wants to start talking because she realizes that we're getting ready to start rolling again for me and Jeremy to have a hash out our conversation. And then Andre's like, girl, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you've been here all this time. Like, why are you trying to do this now? Can you just hush and give them their opportunity? So that's really what that was. And so she got mad, she got pissed off. And then that's when she proceeds to get up.
Y'all wasn't sharing the scene. She wasn't aware that this was y'all's scene. Her.
Basically, you know, she was aware because we had came back in, you know, I had come back in and I was getting ready to sit down and we were going to kind of have the last bit of the resolution. But, you know, I guess she just wanted her moment and Andre wasn't going to give her that moment because, you know, with this being his event, he wanted me and Jeremy to squash that beef because apparently nobody likes to see.
Nobody knew.
Huh?
You said nobody knew but y'all at that point, right? It looked like it was new to everybody.
Yeah. Because it just kind of came out of nowhere.
Rex, he's like, girl, what the fuck is happening?
I was like, what happened? Like, what?
And you know, the reason
did y'all get to eat? You know, Chasing Reality is known for having these scenes where y'all supposed to meet up and have a little dinner. Niggas never get to eat because chairs start flying, wigs get snatched, and nobody gets to eat the food. Did y'all get to eat that night?
Now I got to eat. Now you didn't see that on the scene or whatever, but
when you tiptoed out,
took my moment when after all those chairs and all that stuff got thrown and run around, I went back to the table. I fixed me a little plate. I ate it real quick, and got ready for the next end of the scene.
Ciao.
Yeah. So now tell us about this. Tell us about Between Me and You, because you've been promoting it over the past few weeks. I love that song. I think I've told you that.
Thank
I
you.
said it very clearly.
I love your song.
I love that fucking song. Okay.
Yeah, I listened to it too. It's really good.
What inspired you to create that song? Like what was your inspiration behind it?
So basically, my inspiration behind that song altogether was more so in the sense, was just more so in the sense of, you know, part a previous relationship, part a more recent, you know, situationship, and another part of just kind of letting out or introducing my more freaky artistry into my music itself, you know, hence the rap part. Basically, it's just saying, you know, let me love you like a real man's supposed to. You know, I know you've been through relationship after relationship, you've heard it multiple times or whatever, but let me show you, you know, in that sense, you know, let me be that real man that you need. And then, you know, the rap part, you know, just more so it's just like, you know, let me talk to you, you know, like lay down on that bed, let me give you some hit, you know, I usually talk my way through, but let me fuck you instead. So this time, instead of talking about it as we always do, let me just make you feel good. And hopefully this can just allow this moment to pass.
Right.
That's what Between Me and You, and let's basically keep it between me and you. Now,
I'm gonna ask.
What's up?
So this song, was it kind of inspired by your temporary situationship with Jeremy?
Now, the song lyrics, no. The title, yes. But yeah, Between Me and You, the title. Hence why in that confessional, I was like, we've had several conversations and this was supposed to stay between me and you, and that's why I got so pissed off at the Love Hate Mixer too, because I'm like, you steady saying that I'm looking for a storyline. You're steady saying, you know, oh, I'm looking for this, I need that, but yet I never brought the shit up. You listen to Quan's messy ass, who obviously needed a moment because he's never in any scenes other than sitting in his bathroom in front of a camera on virtual, whatever that was.
Or sitting with you, getting makeup done.
Oh, well, that's because I invited him as a friend into my scene so he could be seen.
Right.
You know.
Wait,
that'll never happen.
Right. Did you take him off of your song?
I
did. Well, look, hey. All right.
Cheers, Frank. Cheers. Okay.
Baby, I wish I would. He ain't gonna make a dime off of my
All right.
Off of that. Wow.
Wow. To include his original, portion on the show, so that at least they could hear a little bit more of him, because it ain't like he's giving much.
Right. So are you going to? Yeah. It's anyway. So are you going to be doing a music video?
So season 2, if I decide to come back for season 2, I will be shooting a music video, but I don't know if it'll be necessarily for that song, because I did write a song based off of my situationship with Mr. Copeland, and that song is called 4 Times Sedity. I actually just finished it up 4 times. Say it again. So 4 times Sedity.
4 times Sedity. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that means you tell him 4 times.
So basically, the song is about, and this is an exclusive because I don't know if they will include it in the scene on episode 7, but I kind of let the few cast members that were there kind of listen in on the preview of it. But the basis of the song is that night after Hershey's event, when Jeremy and I were sitting in my car, things got heated. He called me out of my name 4 times. And then, after that situation, he just started acting real sedity-like. So that's why the name of the song is 4 times Sedity. So you should be hearing the premiere between me and you on episode 7. And then I'm not sure if it'll be on episode 8, but definitely by the finale, the 4 times Sedity song.
For the preview of 4 times Sedity. Well, we're definitely going to be looking out.
Yeah, we're going to be tuning into that. Yeah.
Definitely
will. I'll tell you, it's some good tea. Look, I'll tell you. Let me play a little snippet for you.
Oh, okay.
Just a quick little snippet.
Mm-hmm.
I hope my phone. Oh, let me just grab. Hold on. Make sure this phone don't die.
Put my good ears on real quick.
Okay, can y'all hear?
I can hear you. Bring closer to your mic.
Oh, hold on.
Okay. That's like a key
Hold on. I got a whole speaker sitting right here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right. I'm like, I heard the boom. I was like, that's a Key Sweat beat right there. I know that. That's gonna be one of those.
Yes. Okay. I'm like, I got a whole. There we go. Can you hear now?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, all right. Okay. I ain't got my mixer, so I can't press the bomb button, but Yes, okay.
I can't wait for that.
Definitely gonna be pretty lit. Mm-hmm. Now, I would say, as an artist, we do what we do. Now, the gag would be, and like I said, stay tuned to see if Mr. Copeland and I resolve our things, but season 2, if I do decide to come back, let's see if
put
we
him in
can
the
really
video.
shake it up, and maybe I'll get Mr. Copeland to star in this video.
Start the video, like he can do a choreography name.
He does choreography song,
Oh, okay.
That would be a
and this just proves with me, I don't have bad blood. I'm just not one. I'm just truly not one for moments.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, and please don't try to make my character out to be anything that it's not.
That's not.
Like I cannot stand for somebody to try to attack my character, and Lord knows that I don't need a storyline because I clearly can create my own.
Right. I not
Go ahead, Darren.
Not to circle back at what we talked about before, but I did had a theory of like the whole thing about the post of you posting your ad or whatever. Did he take it as, because some people that are in situations or talking to someone don't like their person posting certain things.
Well, see, this is my thing. Hell, he posts pictures in his underwear with his dick legit all the time.
Yep.
So if I want to, so that's my thing. At least my post was in effort of bringing in additional income.
Okay.
You just be putting your dick out there just to show it.
Wait. So, well, no, that's too personal. I'm not gonna ask that question.
Go for it. I don't mind. Go ahead.
Right. I was like, so, no, I'm not. We're a family show.
What you mind? What? No, we not. Ain't no family show.
Family show. So, so when I was listening to like your spat last night, and he was like, yeah, you posting ads on Instagram, blah blah blah, all this other stuff. Like, okay, well, if y'all aren't in a relationship, right? Like y'all aren't in like an exclusive relationship. Is that where you all were headed? Like, were you all trying to were you exclusive with each other during that time, or was he just kind of like being territorial, or what was the? Because in my brain, I'm thinking like, now if my boyfriend posts something like that, my boyfriend, right? But I'm involved with well, at this point, like me and my boyfriend, like we live together and we have fur babies together, so it's different. But like it's a different conversation, as in like I don't feel comfortable with you posting certain things on social media for other people to be,
because y'all have an understanding,
right? And the same thing for me. Like people who've been following me for years, like since I've been kind of they see me calm down. Well, it's not calm down. Like I'm always gonna be the doll, but there are certain things that I'm not going to expose, or that I'm going to check in with him about. Like yesterday was hump day. No, Wednesday was hump day. And I was like, it was a picture that he took. It was literally of me like cooking breakfast naked. And I was like, oh, this would be great for like hump day or whatever. And he was like,
did you post it?
I didn't post it because
I would have been like, now Darren.
Right. So this week I made a post about this foot peel that I've been using. The K-Aesthetics foot peel, and because I was taking the picture myself, I literally I took it on the bed with me, like putting my feet up or whatever, and like these are my bottom of my feet, I'm done, blah blah blah. But instead of people talking about how good my feet look, everybody was like, look at this moose knuckle, and people start talking about my junk, and I'm like, this is not what I posted for. You know what I mean? So him reacting was like, he said, people out here looking at your dick all on Instagram, look at the print, blah blah. I was like, that's not what I posted it for. It wasn't a thirst trap. It was literally me trying to show my feet. So when it came time my hump day, I was like, well, I'm asking like, is this cool to post? Like, how do you feel about it? He was like, you didn't say no. You didn't say no. He's right here. Like,
I hear him in the background. Like,
but there's also like this level. There's a level of respect that I do have for myself. Now I'm very body positive, but there's also a level of respect that I have for my partner, and I don't ever want to, even if it's something that is going to bring me money. Like, I make money off Instagram. I make money off of the things that I'm selling. But that money still isn't worth me making my. Am I selling ass? Wow. Hold on one second.
Oh, okay. Well. Anyway, that's what I look when he over here cursing him out. Anyway, are you back on?
What I was saying, yeah, I'm not gonna do anything that is going to literally try to, that will make my partner uncomfortable. So when he was going in and he was talking to me about like, what you were posting, I was like, okay, well, were they in a relationship, Or was this
Because
just
that's
like,
what it gave off. I was like, oh, he
yeah,
probably just
y'all were like,
So okay, so let me kind of let you in on that. So basically, Jeremy and I were not in a relationship. You know, we weren't even dating. We were getting to know one another. This is over a span of a few weeks. Huh? You said what?
That was fucking.
We were getting to know each other.
Getting to know no. Y'all wasn't just getting to know each other because y'all weren't like going to the movies and ice skating and holding hands.
Okay, well no, it wasn't like that.
And the reason and he kind of insinuated that when I think you said something about cupcakes or something, he was like, yeah, and I tasted that. You were just like,
did I miss that part?
Yeah, go back and watch the episode because I heard everything. Listen, I watch these episodes, I be hearing everything.
Yeah, I didn't. Look,
go watch it. It was the scene where he was getting up and you were telling him not to say nothing else, whatever. He was like, I ain't saying nothing about blah. And you said something about cake, about cupcakes. He was like, yeah, I tasted that. And I was just like, oh, they was fucking. Like
no, someone said that. Someone had asked, like, did y'all? And then one of y'all said, yeah. That's what.
And then
Jayla asked Jeremy.
Yeah, right. And he said, yeah.
Was y'all doing the bump or whatever?
Yeah, she was like, did y'all fuck? And he was like, yeah. And it was great. And I'm like, oh, fucking great. Thanks.
Oh, Lord.
So do you feel like he feels kind of jaded because it didn't work out? Like, who broke up with who? I want to know. I need to know the things. How did it end?
We weren't dating. So this is what it was.
The people need to know how it went from, okay, we're talking, we may have met up, whatever, we're hanging out, even if y'all was, spacking every now and again. How did it go from that to, I don't like what you're posting on Instagram because I don't want people looking at you that way. So basically, we ain't together and now we fighting
So basically it got to this point or whatever, I'm not gonna lie, Jeremy, very attractive guy, whatever, to me, when I first met him, he definitely exuded potential, like future hubby material. Mm-hmm. But then, it's just like, we hung out, a few times or whatever. We weren't like fucking all, nothing like that, dogs and cats, nothing like that. Like this is like when we first met or whatever, we screwed a couple times or whatever. We hung out a few times, I cooked for him, at his place, but it wasn't like no dating type of scenario. So that's why for me all the way off that night when we had this fallout, in my car outside his place, because I'm like, I didn't even know you felt that strongly toward me because, for the last, week and a half or almost 2 weeks, like when I would reach out to you, you really act like you didn't have time to respond or didn't have time to talk because you're working, and stuff like that. So I'm just like, at the end of the day, I like you, but we're not even exclusive like that. So what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, the thing that really pissed me off that night of that, love and hate mixer, I'm thinking to myself, like, this nigga really took this, brought this to the front line, and I'm really getting this much backlash about this bullshit. And I'm like, I fuck with millionaires and go through less than this.
Nope.
What the hell is this shit?
Period.
And that's why I was literally just like baffled at what was going on.
Wow.
And like, it's like, you're trying to put out there like you really were just like, we were just really involved and like you really cared and it was really for me. And it's just like, now I'm not the messy type of person, but hell, if I were to pull out receipts to show, clearly the way you're acting does not match anything to how it was at that time frame.
Yeah, it was.
You didn't want to make it a storyline, but now I've become your storyline.
You become the story, right? Because other than that, like we haven't seen him at a dance studio. We haven't seen him working with anybody famous, working on choreography.
Well, we did see him at the end of the last episode. He was with Hershey and
we haven't seen him work with any celebrities doing any choreography. We haven't seen him in a dance studio doing any dance moves. We haven't seen him do anything that was in alignment with his own career. So, I mean,
and that's why I said that's the difference in
those who are chasing and those who are just kind of there.
That's the difference in a brand versus a name. I feel like me personally, I'm a brand. That's a name.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Last question.
It's a difference.
So in that dynamic, and I know this is probably going to be problematic, but was he being like a protective top in that situation, or was he just being like a very clingy bottom?
Okay. I thought we weren't allowed to ask positions anymore.
No,
Well,
about
I'm
energy.
not.
I'm
I'm
talking
not
about
going
energy.
to answer that. I can't speak for anybody else, but I would just say that I'm a proud, versatile gay male.
Okay.
And that's that. Well, I was talking about energy. Why? I wasn't talking about like did he top you or he bought like.
Honestly,
Well, you got the butt, so I was gonna be like, well, I know he had to. Come on. But anyway, but I wasn't gonna say nothing. I ain't say nothing.
Too much of that.
Right. I wasn't gonna say nothing. But in any case, well, we're glad that hopefully you and Jeremy will resolve.
Yeah, like I said, no hard feelings. I just genuinely wish people would practice what they preach. If you want to be considered to be, such a, sought after name and force, practice what you preach. Like, why are you out here listening to what other people are saying? In the same sense, like the only reason Jeremy and I fell out is because Quan came to him, lied to him, and he believed it. And instead of coming to me directly in that sense, he decided to take a moment,
air it out on TV.
On TV.
So you did not say to Quan, just so we can be clear, because Quan is going to come to the show.
Oh, bring him.
I want to be very clear.
Bring me in.
You did not tell him that you wanted him to bring up Jeremy's porn so that you could read him on camera.
So this was the exact conversation. Quan brought it to me and was like, well, I don't know why he's, upset with you or mad at you or whatever, because he did porn in the past. And I'm like, he did what? Now, just like Jayla said that night, I didn't know you did porn. Hell, me either. Because truth of the matter is, before I moved to California and before I started filming with Chasing Reality, I didn't know who the hell Jeremy Copeland was. Never heard his name before in my life. So I was never looking for a moment. Hell, he wouldn't have been my moment. Hell, I would have shot for a more reliable, something more exclusive if that were the case. If I was looking for a goddamn moment. But as far as what I said to Quan specifically, so when he brought that to my attention, it's like, I don't know why he's mad at you because he's done porn in the past. I was like, really? I'm like, so you mean to tell me he blew up on me like that and
over an ad,
over a picture, and you out here busting a nigga wide open for a real one, for a little piece of change, So I was like, well, you know what? I'm not even going. I was like, I really don't even care to get into it. But if you feel the need to make a point of it, then you can bring it up. That was the conversation. Wow. So, however, a person wants to perceive that, they can say I was being messy, because I personally feel like I wasn't being messy because I chose not to bring it up. I chose not to go into depth about the conversation. Ultimately, I wouldn't have known anything had Quan not brought it to my attention. So like I told him, I'm not going to make a big deal about it. I appreciate you letting me know this. I do greatly feel some type of way about it, and this is going to change the dynamic between me and Jeremy. But ultimately, if you feel like it's a big deal, hey, bring it up, whatever you want to do. That was the conversation. Now, tell me y'all's opinion on how y'all feel about my response and versus how it was relayed on the show.
Yeah, it sounds like mess, because you didn't even know that he had done porn. Ever. And porn kind of made it an issue, and I feel like he was creating a space for it to be kind of a scene that he'd be involved in.
Because he needed a moment.
You said it, I didn't say it.
Look,
but I'm not gonna.
Like I said,
but I'm not gonna say that
you ride other people's shit. As you saw in my hat, and I dressed for a funeral that day because that was the death of our friendship that died.
I saw.
Next episode. Yeah.
I saw the veil. Wow. Well, for those of you who are still tuned in with us, listen, you can watch Chasing LA every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern daylight savings time on our coast. And I think that's 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for those of you who are living in LA or on the West Coast. Thank you so much for joining us today. I had a great time with you, D. Hawkins.
Likewise.
And I look forward to your new music. We look forward to seeing how your relationships grow and flourish with the rest of the cast on Chasing LA. And Darren, I'm going to throw it back to you.
Yes.
Oh, wait. Before we go. I want to do this. Tell them where they can find you and where they can get all your music and your clothing, and if they need your interior designs, like where can they find you?
All right. So on Instagram, you can find me at the D Hawkins Way. Also on TikTok at the D Hawkins Way. On Facebook, you can find me at d.hawkins. Let's see. Also on Instagram, if you just go to my page at the D Hawkins Way, in my bio, you'll see Wear DH clothing. That's that'll take you directly to my clothing Instagram page, and in that bio, that'll take you directly to the clothing website. In addition, in my bio on my Instagram page, you'll see I Design by D. Hawkins. So, of course, if you have any interior design needs, any set design needs, there are samples of my work on that page. And if anyone is in need of a real good R&B male singer or a feature or a lead, let me know.
All right. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank y'all for having me.
I just added you on everything, so make sure you add me back.
Most right. And when you and the boo, when y'all come out to Cali, whatever, hit me up. Hey, maybe
definitely will.
Okay, look.
Most definitely, y'all hit me up. The thing about this, I love to be that Cali connect. When my people from Texas come, I'm blessed to have a nice 4-bedroom home or whatever. I have an Airbnb, stuff like that. I like to be that connect for my people. Especially with California being as expensive as it is. It's like if you come in and you spending $150 a day on a hotel room, how you gonna really splurge and have fun the way you want to? So just make stuff affordable and fun, and just I feel like what you put out into this world is equally what you'll get back.
Okay, well, yep, very good. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much, listeners, for watching the show. Hope you've enjoyed the convo, and until next time, I am your host, Darren Green.
I'm Prince Derek Dahl.
And this is the Darren Green Show signing out. Bye, y'all. You're going to hear me on Tuesday. I'm going to I have another show and an interview with somebody, but I'm not going to tell nobody yet who it is. But yes. Oh, no. We said, right. All right.